The Kilominator. Cycling through a global pandemic in search of sanity and stability. By Matthew Saint-Amand. Chapter 1. Waking the Roosters. Why exactly am I doing this? I wondered, as I struggled against the wind and the lightning and thunder downpour. I was on my mountain bike, 45 kilometers from home, feeling like a sailor lost at sea. It was just shy of 8 o'clock in the morning on a morbid, humid Sunday in August. Moments before, I was on a video call with my wife, cell phone mounted on my handlebars, telling her that I had bypassed the storm. She had trouble hearing me because I kept my phone inside a clear plastic sandwich bag. Just in case. "It's raining like crazy here," she said. "No rain here," I said, but I heard some thunder. Then it hit. Like a practical special effect in a Terry Gilliam movie, main character says, "Heard some thunder," triggering the deluge. The road in front of 784 Old Tecumseh Road turned into a river in seconds. The cold rain slapping me in the face put me in mind of playing in Lake St. Clair as a kid, waves tackling me against the sandy shore, feeling momentary panic as the water went over my head, then exhilaration as I clambered a few feet more to the safety of the beach. My little brother Tim and our old friend J.T. Hurley, on whose beach we played, laughing, escaping the waves too, getting to their feet, and then going back in a moment later. That cloudburst August morning, I was 49 years old and fancied myself a cyclist, averaging 50 to 60 kilometers a day, 6 days a week. On Sundays, I made a 100-kilometer odyssey from my home in LaSalle, Ontario, across the county, to the tiny burg of Emeryville. The weather report that morning read, current temperature 77 degrees Fahrenheit, feels like 78 degrees Fahrenheit, and indicated 90% chance of rain. I've taken bigger chances with fewer percentage points in my favor without regret. Started at 4:45 a.m., in the dismal dark, my LED beacons flashing, marking the bow and stern of my bike, scant comfort as I left the lighted path of Laurier Parkway and entered the fathomless dark of South Talbot Road, beyond the Howard Avenue connector. Easy to see how people in previous centuries believed in vampires, ghosts, and werewolves as the wind blew across the open fields on either side of me, rattling cornstalks, rousing the first strains of doubt. Why exactly am I doing this? I learned about riding as the newest loud on the route earlier in the season. Didn't realize that my workout clothes were all variations of black, dark blue, deep green, until I rode down sparsely lit lanes in those pre-dawn hours, crossing paths with cyclists clad in high-visibility jerseys, reflective gloves, lights flashing on their handlebars and seat posts. Got myself a high-visibility vest that I wore over t-shirts and hoodies. Bought a cheap set of lights. MIPS bicycle helmet. Cell phone in a sandwich bag, bank card and driver's license tucked in there, snug in the handlebar mount. 2 containers of water in the bottle cages. Saddlebag with a spare tube and tools to change a flat. Portable air pump strapped to the bike's down tube, next to the drink cages. Protein bar in my pocket. Then, off through the shadows of my neighborhood. My weekly pilgrimage. Camera flash bursts of lightning had pierced the sky, off behind me in the southwest as I set out. Much of the ride was misty, verging on rain, sulky threats from the weather. As morning progressed, the sun rose, struggling behind the clouds. Nearly made it through as I crossed the Puce River Bridge, 90 minutes later. In Emeryville, the sky remained overcast, wreathed with storm clouds, thunder in the distance. The plan was to visit St. William's Cemetery, and then bike past JT's old house, just the property now, the house having been demolished the previous year, and ride home away from the storm. Didn't quite work. Now the downpour. I ended the video call with my wife and started back the way I came, but realized there was no outrunning a storm. I turned around again and headed for Wallace Line, which led to the EC Row Expressway. I wasn't about to take my bike onto the expressway, But on the ride here, along County Road 42, I passed Wallace Line, so I decided to take the shortcut back to my incoming route. Shortcuts are contra to kilominating, but I just wanted to get home before the situation got worse. And very soon, I paid the price of shortcuts. The gravelly dirt road beyond the expressway was a quagmire. There was a long rumble of thunder, like furniture of galactic size being dragged across a wooden floor. The rain stopped as quickly as it started. I paused to photograph the menacing clouds ringing my position. From that vantage point, I saw that my original plan of taking Puce Road up to Essex was a bad idea. Thunderheads were heaviest there, jagged like stalactites. Wondered if one or more might turn into a funnel. A few summers ago, during a storm, I was just after telling my young son that we didn't experience tornadoes in our area, and then a short time later, one barreled through the end of our street. So I headed in the opposite direction, down County Road 42. Hated retracing my route, but standing there on the muddy road, straddling my island bicycle, a glorified paperclip with wheels, a primal fear of the elements gripped me. Traced a trail through the mud on Wallace Road, hit by side wind gusts. When I turned onto County Road 42, the reason for my excellent progress to Emeryville earlier became immediately apparent. I'd had the wind at my back. It was always the way. When the riding was good, when I was flying down an empty concession road, feeling like Hercules, feeling exaltation, believing I had achieved cycling nirvana, thinking now, the road yields to my command, only to have the wind in my face on the ride home, feeling exaltation, laboring, lumbering, realizing my great speed had little to do with me. The wind buffeted me every chance it got. By the time I reached Windsor Airport, the rain returned, full force. It was like pedaling through a car wash. Why exactly am I doing this again? I wondered.